I get it. When you're staring at the robot vacuum aisle, you feel like you're about to sign a lease on a piece of tech you might never use. You've probably heard the hype about set and forget cleaners, but you also know the nightmare stories of a robot that gets stuck under the couch or leaves streaks on the floor. My friend Julie was on the fence about spending a few $100s on a high-end model, so I pulled the DREAME Matrix10 Ultra into a real-world test and thought I'd walk you through exactly what that looks like before you decide to hand over your cash. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the thing that sets this machine apart is the whole all-in-one power dock concept. Most robot vacuums I've tried either need a separate mop pad you have to swap manually, or a tiny dustbin that fills up after a single room. The Matrix10 Ultra docks, empties its own dustbin, refills its water tank, and swaps mop pads automatically. In practice, that means you can set it to run while you're at work, come home to a mostly clean floor, and not have to wrestle with a full bin or a dry mop pad. The Multi-Mop switching dock holds 3 different cleaning solutions, so you could keep a gentle floor cleaner for hardwood, a stronger formula for tile, and even a pet-friendly scent for the living room without ever opening the dock. I tested it on a typical 2-story house with hardwood on the main floor, a shag rug in the family room, and a mix of low-pile carpet in the upstairs hallway. The robot's 30,000 pascal suction is impressive on paper, but what matters is how it behaves when it runs over a thick rug. The Matrix10 automatically boosts suction when it detects carpet, and the brush system actually pulled the rug fibers a bit, giving a noticeable reduction in surface dust after each pass. The downside? On very plush, high-pile carpet, the robot slowed down considerably and sometimes missed a few spots near the edges. If your home is carpet-heavy, you'll probably still need a handheld vacuum for those deep-pile corners. Obstacle handling is another area where the Matrix10 tries to earn its price tag. The 3.15-inch clearance is taller than most entry-level robots, letting it glide over small thresholds and even the occasional toy truck. The claim of avoiding 240+ types of objects translates into a fairly robust LiDAR and visual mapping system that learned my home layout within the first hour. In daily use, it steered clear of my dog's chew toys, the coffee table legs, and the low-profile shoe rack in the hallway. However, it isn't invincible. A stray cord that lay across the hallway at a shallow angle tripped the sensor and caused the unit to back up and reverse, which added a few minutes to the cleaning cycle. If you have a lot of low, loose cords or very cluttered spaces, you may still need to tidy up a bit before you let it run. Now, who actually benefits from this level of automation? If you're a busy professional who works long hours, have pets that shed daily, and want a floor that looks presentable without a nightly sweep, this robot can genuinely cut down on chores. The self-emptying dustbin holds enough debris for about a week in a moderate household, and the self-cleaning mop system means you won't be dealing with mildew-smelling pads after a month of use. For pet owners, the robot that cares for pets claim isn't just marketing fluff. The device includes a pet hair brush that stays relatively tangle-free, and the high suction pulls fur from both hard floors and low-pile carpet without needing a separate pet-specific attachment. On the flip side, if you're a minimalist who prefers a single-purpose tool, or you live in a very small studio where a regular vacuum can be stored under a bed, the Matrix10 may feel over-engineered. The upfront cost is steep compared with a basic robot vacuum, and you'll only see the full return if you actually let the device run on a regular schedule. Likewise, households that rely heavily on thick, high-pile rugs or have a lot of narrow stairways, the robot can't go upstairs, will find the machine's capabilities limited. In those cases, a mid-range robot plus an occasional manual vacuum might be a more sensible spend. A practical strength worth highlighting is the voice control integration. I linked the robot to my smart speaker and set up a routine that says, "Hey Google, start the Matrix10 when I leave for work." The robot begins its run, and I get a push notification when it's finished or if it encounters an error. The app also lets you draw virtual no-go zones, which came in handy for protecting my child's Lego build area. The only gripe here is that the app can feel a bit busy when you're trying to edit multiple zones at once. It's not as slick as some competitors, but it gets the job done. Another hidden trade-off is the water usage for mopping. The dock refills the mop pad with up to 250 milliliters.